Are you still feeling like your sketches are a little amateurish, a little not what you want? You want to step it up a bit? You want to make it more exciting, more creative, more what you envision? Well, let's grab those sketch materials because we're going out on location and I'm going to give you a close-up of the things that I do. What a gorgeous day. Now we're outside, we're going to get sketching, you have all your equipment, but what do you actually do? How do you apply it? I'm going to do some close-ups of a couple sketches I did. They're not great, but I was out there, and even though I normally paint sitting on, my sketchbook on my lap, this time I put it on my tripod so I could video it a little bit for you guys. Anyway, I hope you get some ideas from this and that maybe this will work for you. Often, before I head out, I like to look around and get some inspiration from masters like my friend Mark Ivan Cole, or a genius like Van Gogh, who did so many plein air sketches before he painted. When it's nice weather, it's the best time to get out on location to do some plein air sketching. After all, it's going to be a long winter, and those references will come in very handy. Plein air is the French term for outdoors. That's all. Just go outside and do some drawing. Sketching helps keep us relaxed and loose in our painting, so we don't get hung up in tiny details, and so we don't forget why we were drawn to that image in the first place. This week, I was in Rockport, Maine, and took the short trek out to the Breakwater. I set up my easel so I could put my sketchbook on it and my tripod for my phone to take a video. Actually, I didn't have my credit card and I had not pre-drawn any little thumbnail areas, so I just took my phone, put that on my sketchbook, and drew around that as a quick outline to just kind of give me a place to draw. As you're going around, remember, vary your art elements. What are some of the art elements we're using here? I see it as mostly line and value. That's the light and dark shading. Also, as you're going along, consider the direction of the plant growth or the rocks and the land. Is it horizontal? Is it vertical? Is it diagonal? What about clouds or trees? Remember, like here, I am kind of shading in the direction of the tree growth. See, the lines are going up and out. In the distance, I did short little vertical strokes very lightly in the background with my number 3 pen, and then I washed it with my water brush to make it a soft, distant value. Try to relax. Try to go rather quickly. This is a sketch. This is not a super fine finished drawing or painting or anything. This is just for you. As I said in the last video, you are processing the information in front of you and getting familiar with the subject. Every now and then, keep little notes on the side, and that will help you remember how you felt in the moment, what the weather was. Was it hot, cold, hazy? That will help when you go back and possibly paint it to remember the momentary inspiration that you had while there. Here I'm using my number 8 pen and then washing it in with a water brush. This can give me some nice darks in the trees. There's trees on the side here, as you noticed in that initial little video I had. As this dries, I realize it's going to dry about maybe 1/3 lighter than the way it is now. It's kind of like a watercolor that way. And as I'm going back and forth, I use the pen and then the brush and back to the pen. This is the edge of the water. Notice at the edge of the water, I'm keeping all the lines horizontal. Water always finds its own level, so you want to keep it horizontal. The tree leaves try to make the branches grow, just bunch up the group of leaves on a branch. Here I'm just washing in very lightly some cloud ideas. I mean, it's not really of a cloud, it's just the idea of a cloud kind of floating out there, giving it some distance. My number 8 pen again, because it's a little dark right at the edge of the water. It's interesting, it's a lot of contrast right there. You've got the dark because the rocks are being hit by the water, and when they're wet, they're darker. And then just at the edge of that is a glint of light as the little waves hit and catch the sunlight. Now I'm throwing in some reflections in the water. And the nice thing with this brush is you can wash it and it kind of bleeds down, and that gives you a really great sense of reflections. Every now and then you want to step back and look at what you're doing, even when it's just a small sketch. It's important to get the overall view. Notice here how I'm coming from above. That's not just for the camera, for you guys. That is because it varies my marks on the paper. Each mark I'm thinking, is this a vertical mark? Is this horizontal? Is this diagonal? Or does it radiate? Those are your 4 basic marks. And it indicates the object. Water, you want horizontal. Trees, you want probably the leaves, you want the bunches to be indicated with some diagonals or radial lines as they're kind of radiating out from the branch. Keep looking at your subject. Consider what's happening there. Right now, you're recording information. Think, think, think. Under the trees, it's a little darker because there's shadow there. I'm really making an effort to keep the light shining through from behind. Where the trunks are, and you get that light from behind, that's really exciting. Some people call those tree holes, but that's actually between the trunks. The tree holes are always having a little bit of light showing through the bunches of leaves in the top of trees. You want that because you want the sky, you want the sky shining through. It makes it seem more realistic. A tree is not a solid lollipop. So you want to indicate that it is not that. Once you get one sketch done, go and try another one. Keep drawing, looking at different aspects, getting some details. I looked at the lighthouse at the end of this mile-long breakwater, and I tried to do a little detailed sketch of just the lighthouse so I could add it in later. Then a schooner went by, beautiful 3-masted schooner. I sketched him out and added him into the drawing. It's just fun. Just keep moving and enjoying. Remember, the more you sketch, the better you get. That's what's important. Try my tools, try graphite pencils, charcoal, markers, a ballpoint pen, anything. Just get out there and get sketching. Plein air helps us expand our abilities, and the fresh air is good for us. Remember, in the links below, I list my tools and the manufacturer links, or you can just do a copy-paste and do a search online to find them. If you can't find these specific ones, try whatever drawing tool you have at hand. I've also included links to the 2 artists, Vincent van Gogh and Mark Ivan Cole, to whom I referred earlier in this video. There. Now you've seen a couple of my sketches, the way I approach. You have your own way. You can use graphite, you can use pen and ink. There's so many things you can do. Keep playing around with different ones and you will find the one that you really like, the one you're comfortable with, and that expresses things the best for you. I hope you're inspired now, so grab your stuff and get outside. Remember the links below? And don't forget to subscribe, and especially to ring my bell. That way you get the next video. Keep sketching.